So let's talk about jobs to be done framework. So it's very nice and very effective framework to understand customer motivation. So the main goal to understand real motivation, what customer needs. We don't hear what he wants. We care about what he needs. So why customer needs it and how many customers need it? Because if it's only one customer needs it one time per year, so we don't need to develop the feature. So decide where to grow our product so we can highlight our backlog to develop most productive features. So usually when we sell skates and when we sell skate parts, usually customers do not care about this. Customer care about how he feels, how he plays skate, how cool he will be, how girl will look at him. So he really actually want this on the picture. By the way, this picture is very known on the internet, displaying these jobs to be done. But the idea, just what is important, it's about the real motivation why customer want. So I will explain a little bit more so you will understand better. So good case with McDonald's. McDonald's goal was to sell more milkshakes. And they made a study, they asked for hundreds of people what they need to buy more. So people, of course, describe their opinions and the experts wrote carefully what is it. And by the way, they developed it, so they made this opinion developed most popular opinions. And the real result that sales didn't increase. So no new sales. So they spent money for understanding the customer, for listening to the customer. They spent money for producing customers' needs and no sales. So they asked for jobs to be done, company to help them. So company experts came to McDonald's and started just watching how people buying milkshakes. They just watched, first they like 17 hours. And then next day in the morning, so they understood that there are two types of people. One type of people who buy milkshakes in the morning, another type of people who buy it during the all day. And next day, they catch everybody who bought milkshake and ask them, why did you buy it? And still customers were unable to answer. So they start asking them, why you bought it today? Where did you buy it yesterday? What did you do yesterday? And then during this deep interview, they understood that customers just going to the work, and while driving to the work, they just need some calories and spend some time with that. So just they have usually 23 minutes, the time it takes to drink their milkshake. So they take it to come to the work. And then they understood real motivations. Some calories because any, like, I don't know, Dunkins or something else provide not comfortable to eat. So, and milkshakes were very comfortable for that and also takes long time. So what they did, they made a bigger, more fat glasses. Also, they put some fruit so it will be more eco-friendly and maybe more tests. And of course, they make it faster because people at morning, they really need fast. Time is important. And they increased sales of milkshakes. Not because they listen to the customers, but because they understand the real motivations. So we need to work hard to understand the motivation. So we need to done our work so customer get the job done. So usually we use job interviews for that. So it's always started with job stories like that. So it came from Scrum, by the way, a little bit modified. So when description, I want to real motivation, so I can add it. So our development team can understand the customer motivation and provide a better solution. For example, when I record a video with PowerPoint, I would like to disable all incoming noises, like videos, programs, blah, 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 callings. So I can record video from the first time without disruption. So it's my real motivation is to be like silent and no disruption. And if I go directly to the developers and said, hey guys, when I record the video, can you please turn off my phone, turn off, I don't know, all programs, disable all in-app messages, blah, 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 blah. And if I'm not UX designer, let's say, and provide lots of tasks for them. But if they understand my motivation, they possibly can provide other solutions for me. For example, while Philip records the video, possibly he can automatically turn off the Wi-Fi. For example, when I start recording video, Wi-Fi turn off. And possibly it's enough. You know? So I'm not a developer. I ask for the lots of tasks from the developers. But if developers understand or product owner will understand me, my real motivation, they will provide a better solution for me. And of course, when customers write lots of inquiries, and if we put all of them to backlog, and also if we realize every of them, we call it featureism. So featureism were lots of products like Jira, like Rike, that have lots of models. But the problem is that teams do not use all these features. And by the way, if we talk to managers, they really hate Jira just because it's not for people. It's for developers, of course, but it's not for managers. It's too complicated. And if you need, what is important? If you need to implement features between them, what you need to not to advertise one feature in other, like when people using one feature, you advertise other feature. It's not right, but you need to completely, very nicely combine them. And what is important, if you provide new features, it will not increase your income. You need to understand customer motivation, so it's drive your business forward. And also, what is one more time? If you use notifications, emails, I don't know, banners to advertise features or models, it doesn't work. If you need to advertise model, for example, I have 150 models, and you need to advertise models that are used. Of course, you need to know if customers need them, but you need to carefully put inside. If you would like to advertise bank model, like automatic bank sync, you don't need to push notifications everywhere. You need to push only one notification. One customer go to the bank every month, he put plus add new, let's say, upload new file, you can just put. While you're uploading new file, you can do it automatically. Just put checkbox here. It will save 10 hours of your time. So you just do integration inside the product. Not banner, use this thing, it will help you. No, but put inside the product where customer really needs it. And by the way, if customers do not use our models, we are dummy. Not customer is dummy, but we are dummy because we're thinking that customers are dummy. So customers have their own behavior. So customers do the same steps every day. And we need to understand them and prepare interface for that. But usually what we do, customers are stupid, we need to do something. So we are stupid, we are dummy, not customers. So use this method with your daily task and you will save lots of time. Just understand customer motivation, understand how is important for most of your customers. Is it important for 1% or it's important for 75% of customers? And then work on that and never listen what customer wants. Please understand customer real motivation. Good luck and see you in the next video.